Hi everyone, I'm Dinah Ventura and welcome to Pairfect, where we bring together inspiring minds who share one purpose and one passion. Today we step into the world of animal welfare, advocacy, and humane care in the Philippines. Our story is about protecting animals, raising awareness, and creating a society where every creature is treated with compassion and respect. Our guest is a key figure in the Philippine Animal Welfare Movement, serving as the Executive Director of the Philippine Animal Welfare Society. Through her leadership, countless animals have been rescued, rehabilitated, and given a voice, while communities are educated on responsible pet ownership and the enforcement of animal welfare laws. Please welcome to Pairfect Attorney Ana Cabrera.
Hello, Dina. Thank you
Welcome.
for having me
It's
here.
so nice that you could come and visit us. There's so many animal lovers in this company.
Oh, okay. Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So let's get right on to it. PAWS has been a pillar of animal protection in the Philippines for decades. So from your perspective, what makes your mission so significant for both animals and communities?
Actually, when people think animal welfare, they think it's just a bunch of sentimental, overly sensitive people who care about animals. But those who protect animals actually protect society from violent behavior. This is something that we emphasize over and over again. People who are prone to hurt animals are more predisposed to hurt other human beings.
That's
and
true.
this is not just something that I made up. This is based on studies. There are studies abroad, and this is the reason why in the FBI profiles, they track those who are cruel to animals, because it turns out that 100% of those who are cruel to animals move on to violent behavior against humans. And an interesting study also showed that serial killers in the United States start out as animal offenders first.
Wow.
From childhood, hurting small animals. So
Their
I
first
think,
victims, no?
yeah. So if we are able to really appreciate this interpersonal link between interpersonal violence and animal cruelty, then I think more people would be more concerned about
Yes,
animal
yeah.
welfare.
I really believe that. I mean, it's natural for people who can be unkind to helpless beings like animals, for that to translate to humans against humans. No?
Yes.
Anyway, so as executive director, how many years have you been heading PAWS?
I started volunteering for PAWS in 1997.
Okay.
And it was, the organization was headed by then Nita Ontiveros Lichauco, who was my mentor, and who passed away sadly in 2020. So I've been a volunteer from 1997 to about 2006 or 2007. And when I say volunteer, it's really purely our money. I was employed as a bank employee then, and I was giving all my free time, and we were paying for everything. We were trying to start a shelter. We were also helping Mrs. Lichauco lobby for the Animal Welfare Act, which was the first anti-cruelty law. This is the national anti-cruelty law in the Philippines, because prior to 1998, there was no law.
So you were there talaga when that was being
Yes. So it was good. It was a good experience because at that time, Mrs. Lichauco was a pioneer. She had the first animal welfare column, and nobody was really paying any attention. And when we put up the shelter, people were laughing at us, saying na, "Oh, you're crazy. Who will adopt an askal. That was the term then. An askal when there's isang pera, isang askal sa kalye. And who would adopt? And so for a time when we put up the shelter, it looked as if nobody was really going to adopt. Every month we would see our bank book, just all the expenses, and nobody was donating. It's not like what it is today, that there's shelters and there are many. I think the movement has grown.
Yes.
So it was a difficult time, but I was fortunate because since I was there from the start, I am friends with many people in the movement, like kilala namin in the industry, yeah. And I've also seen like some people na before they weren't that, like for example, there was this, I know, super anti-spay neuter or kapon, and now
they support it now.
They support and promote it. So there's character development that you see, and I've seen how the movement has grown, especially with the young people today. And the volunteers that we have. So it's getting better. So I think there's a hope for the animals.
For society also. Well, let's get into that because your role as executive director, you lead both the advocacy and the legal efforts to protect animals. So how do you see your role in shaping public awareness and enforcing humane treatment in your capacity as that executive director?
You know what? It's like carrot and stick also. Not just me as executive director, but the strategy of the organization of PAWS itself. We don't. We have been the pioneers in lobbying for the Animal Welfare Act, but then we saw that there was no enforcement. Nobody was filing a case. So even if we were non-lawyers then, I only just recently became a lawyer. So we were already filing cases. And then we would see how the cases would get dismissed. We learned on the ground that in order to promote humane treatment, there has to be encouragement, promoting kindness through education, campaigning. But if there's bad behavior, for example, there's someone who was cruel to an animal, he shouldn't go unpunished. We should also go after them.
Yes.
So when people ask me, oh, should we have stricter laws? Should we have, it has to go both ways, both like promoting humane treatment among our young kids.
Yes.
And then, because if you know what's right or wrong, you don't even need the laws anymore. Like punishment can be a deterrent, but people who are raised well, and they're raised being kind, but then you don't need to explain to them, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. And it's not even the imprisonment that's going to be, you know, stopping them from bad behavior.
So it really starts from the home, the upbringing.
Yes.
And the way society really regards or acts against these unkindness.
So the strategy of PAWS is both education and then prosecution.
Yes. So talagang
Yes.
So, under your leadership, PAWS has worked on rescues and rehabilitations of countless animals. I don't know if you're still, like, you have the number in your head. So, what are the most common cases you encounter and what lessons do they teach society?
We have animals who have been treated very badly. We have a dog who was, somebody poured acid on his ear, so it closed up.
Oh, God,
and
the pain.
And so he was an Aspen, and we called him Sid because of the acid. So we thought, after having undergone so much cruelty, surely this dog, we would have difficulty rehabilitating the behavior because he had grown distrustful of humans. And to our surprise, Sid is among the most loving, very forgiving dogs. And sabi ko nga, that's what actually makes dogs different from man. Because if I were treated that way, medyo you'd maybe spend years on rehab for me. But Sid was just like, after we treated him well and he saw the kind hands that were caring for him, he like turned around and he's now adopted. He's still
talaga?
there joining our Halloween costume
Oo.
contest. And he's just the sweetest. And so the lesson that is to be learned, that no matter how bad the past of a dog is, the lives can always turn around. And then the beauty of it is that a dog would always be parang most of the time forgiving.
Yes.
Of humans, and there's a lot we can learn from that. I think na as human beings, we can. There's hope if people believe in us, and so the same way for animals. If you give them just a bit of a chance, you go to our shelter, and those animals have been the history. They've gone through so much, but when you see them, they're like happy, and I'm ready to begin a new life with you. So, yeah, there's much we can learn from animals.
Yeah, I know. So, dapat talaga we're spreading those stories so people know, no? Speaking of which, para education is a core part of your mission. So, like, how do you reach more people or communities to change their behaviors towards animals?
Okay, so I'm a dinosaur in animal welfare, considering that I started 1998, 1997, prior to social media, prior to the internet. I think. So when we used to do it, we would do press releases.
Yeah, traditional way.
And then the lobbying was like really going to the halls of the Senate, knocking on the doors, giving our letters. We were faxing and things like that. And now that the topography has changed, there is now social media. And it has the potential to be positive. And I saw also a negative side, because now we can easily put across messages. But there's also a lot of fake news. And sometimes there's also a tendency for people to like go to the, how do I call it, sensationalism. So sometimes an animal would be portrayed, and then it would be focusing on rescue, which is, rescue is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But if people start thinking that their rescues are the end all of the movement, or that street feeding is the key to solving everything, I think there's like,
not enough.
It's sustainable. The approach has to be sustainable. The approach has to be, we show that education really is the cornerstone of everything. And we educate by example. So those people who do good things also is good. But then there's also a tendency na, if it's social media, sometimes people think that just posting is enough. Example, like there's this viral horse cruelty case now ongoing.
Tinali sa kotse.
So now people are just sharing, and they're saying, oh, file a case. We cannot file a case if there's no witness affidavit. But people just want to forward, and they think
that can be
that's
used
the
already.
action. No? So we can go beyond.
So let's talk more about how people can really participate in animal welfare causes after a short break.
And this break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Union Bank, it starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingby Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribun's Facebook page, Tribun now on YouTube, and Daily Tribun Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Edmond Libano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribun's Facebook page, Tribun now on YouTube, and Daily Tribun Official on TikTok.
And we're back on Pairfect with PAWS Executive Director Attorney Anna Cabrera. So before we took a break, you were talking about, we were talking about educating the communities about animal welfare. So to continue, I'd like to ask, how does your legal background help strengthen PAWS initiatives and ensure justice for the abused animals?
Okay. If you know, I took up law very late in life. I just took it 2018
Okay.
as a working student, evening student. And I was already in my 40s, so late 40s. So talagang late na. And people are asking me, what prompted you? It was because in the course of attending hearings, sometimes we would get intimidated by the defense.
Yeah.
The animal offenders would have lawyers. They would say, oh, you're late already. That's not the way the pleading should be. And so I just kind of got tired of it. And also there was one judge who told me, one time when our witness was on the stand, the judge was asking, oh, was it a purebred dog or an Aspin? Kasi, oh, Aspin lang pala, bayaran na lang, ganun. So I had to stand up and I said, Your Honor, the Animal Welfare Act does not
Discriminate.
distinguish whether the animal was, because it's not about damages or civil. And then he said, who are you? Who are you? Are you counsel? And sabi ko, no, Your Honor, I'm from PAWS. And so you're not counsel. You sit down because only lawyers can get to talk.
Wow.
Or I can hold you in contempt. And so I had to sit down, and then I had to keep on slipping note to the prosecutor to please tell them that. And I was so frustrated. So when a friend asked me if I could go and take the LAE, this is the entrance exam for UP.
Admission exam.
I said, I'm too old for this. But then she said, let's go and try it. So fortunately I passed. And now everything I've learned, I use. And we are getting more convictions. And now no lawyer can intimidate me even if the defense says, oh, that's wrong. So now I have stuff. So I'm very glad I took up law. It was hard. It was very hard. But everything was worth it. Yeah.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oo nga, dapat alam mo, di ba? You're there. Grabe pala, it's hard to fight for cases like that. Is it still is that still true until now?
Not as hard as before, because I remember one of our very first cases, our witness got called to the stand, and when the defense lawyer was asking, oh, did you hear the dog that was being slaughtered? And so the one that was our witness was our caretaker. So he was speaking in Tagalog. He said, opo, umiyak po yung aso. And then he was ridiculed. The defense lawyer said, paano, i-demonstrate mo. And then so he made our caretaker bark on the stand. It was really bad. And I was like, why isn't anyone objecting? And then everyone in the courtroom was laughing. But now we don't see that anymore. I guess the behaviors have changed because there's also social media. And now people are calling out, animal cruelty, which is a good thing.
What can people do when they witness something like that?
When you witness crime, any crime, not exclusive to animal welfare or animal cruelty, call the police right away. No? So if the law enforcer catches the perpetrator in the act, he can arrest the person right away. So I'm horrified sometimes. There's this whole video of an animal being hurt, and I'm saying, sana there's someone, calling the police while this is going on. Or sometimes maybe people are just shocked by the whole thing.
Stunned.
No? But I was saying, maybe they can shout for the person to stop. And so when you witness one and you don't call in the police, the next best option is filing with the prosecutor's office. We need your affidavit as a witness. Or you can go to the police and the police can file it later. But you really have to do an affidavit. There's no way around it. People are saying, oh, mahina ang batas because of this. But really, that's how it is with any crime. You can't just accuse anyone of a crime without doing an affidavit because it starts with initiating a complaint.
So, aside from doing that, PAWS also often collaborates with local governments, schools, and other organizations. So, how important is partnership in achieving your goals for animal protection?
Very important. Kasi um, basically anything you do, if you do alone, it's much harder. So, pause, every time we go do a kapon outreach, it's always in coordination with the local government unit. We have partnered with veterinary clinics for mga low cost then. We have also students. We have 9 universities now where we have our Youth for Animals. So this is like mini PAWS in mga universities.
Okay.
So the movement is growing and it's now easier because we have partners.
Yes, that's great. That's great news, and will help. We'll try to help spread it even more,
Yes.
diba? But other than that, what other efforts does PAWS do
I'd like to
toward that
mention
end?
I'd like to mention one of our programs, which is
Okay.
my personal favorite.
Okay.
It's a doctor dog program. Kasi the
Dr.
doctor
Dog.
dog is our animal assisted therapy
Nice.
program. And when people think of animal welfare organizations, they always think na it's about people helping animals. But actually, it's about animals helping people. So sa animal assisted therapy or doctor dogs, these dogs that are been tested, when I say tested, they've been temperament tested, they're spayed or neutered, they're full vaccinated, and they go to hospitals to visit cancer kids, home for the aged. And lately, we've tied up with the DSWD. And the DSWD has mga sanctuaries for victims of trafficking.
Yeah.
So,
Abused, the
abused women, they are undergoing therapy. So, I think Secretary Gatchalian is very, very, like an animal lover talaga. So, he said, may therapy tayo, but di natin include animal therapy because I've benefited a lot from my dogs. Any pet owner will tell
Yes.
you benefited a lot from your dog. So, they went there. Because I was telling him, you know, Secretary, we went to parang home for sexually abused girls. And we said, here are the doctor dogs, they're your doctors. We're going to, you can consult with them. We'll close the door, but there was a glass. So, and then you whisper to them your problems. And you know, in that home, in that sanctuary, we saw a girl about 13 years old. And so we put Dr. Eddie, I remember the name. This is a retriever, Labrador retriever. And he was sitting, I think, on a chair somewhere. And the girl, so we closed the door, but we could see them from the glass.
Yeah.
The girl was whispering earnestly into the ear of Dr. Eddie. And Dr. Eddie was like doing like that. And then the tears started like streaming down the girl's face. I think she was relating something. I think maybe an experience that she won. And so all of us watching from, I still cry every time I recall. We were like crying because I can't explain it, but I know that was therapy for that girl. And good job, Dr. Eddie.
Yeah.
And then so
that's ongoing. I mean,
Yes.
like the dogs are available. What happens when you bring them there? PAWS will take
yeah.
the dogs there.
yes.
They have a schedule.
Yes. Yeah.
okay,
So,
so-
we used to go to mga hospitals and then I think COVID happened and also mga avian flu and all these things. And then suddenly animals were not allowed in hospitals before. Dati, we could go into the cancer kids sa
Yeah, the
PGH and
ward.
the National Children's Hospital. We would go into the cancer ward and
It was
talagang ito
allowed.
yung bed. We were allowed. Pero yun na nga, because of
Baka they have
stuff.
another place where they can just have the kids and the animals interact. No? Like a park within the
Yeah.
grounds.
Pero some of the kids are too sick and they're in bed. So we even have a Dr. Dog song. So yeah, it just goes to show sometimes we think so highly of ourselves na, we help animals. But dare I say, the animals help us more than we could ever help them.
That's true. That's true. So over the years, so other than that, with Dr. Dog, what changes or progress in Philippine animal welfare makes you proud?
Proud. Okay. I think a source of pride is our volunteers. These young people would spend hours. I've worked with them in disaster relief work. So in the recent typhoons, we would wade in flood waters, and the volunteers would come with me and distribute even mga aspens and puspins na they're trapped, nakapatong sa Orocan, sa mga poor communities. And they're like, isang linggo ng baha, and nakapatungtong pa rin sa Orocan yung aso. And we're like, kawawa naman siya. But they would, and I see that we don't even like give them food, the volunteers. We don't pay them anything. And yet, if you see our year-end report, there's over 12,000 volunteer hours. So I'm very proud, and our Youth for Animals really is, sabi ko nga, there's hope for animal welfare. People keep telling me, oh, it's an uphill climb. Sabi ko, yeah, it's an uphill climb. But so many other people will take up the fight. If I come to an age, can't do it anymore, it's the young people who will fight even harder.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear that. So what's the setup of PAWS now? Like, so you have an office, and then, because I'm sure some people would be interested to offer their services. Like, can you talk about that? Like,
Okay.
how do you?
PAWS is located in Aurora Boulevard in Quezon City, very near Ateneo. And so we have a low-cost spay-neuter clinic. If there are vets, they can do like spay-neuter, kapon. If they're ordinary students, we need students who are savvy in social media, pub mats, graphic design, so that they can help us advertise yung campaigns.
Spread
namin.
awareness.
Yeah. Because we only have, if people don't know, people think PAWS is a big organization. We have about 20 paid staff. That's it. And that includes the number of caretakers, ha? The number 20 includes caretakers, the vet, and the clinic assistant, and the gate boy. So those are the people at PAWS. So the rest of the heavy pulling is being done by
Volunteers, talaga.
unpaid volunteers. So come over, spend time with the animals. Mondays to Saturdays we're open. We're just closed on Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we have a volunteer orientation this coming Saturday. Closed na muna for this Saturday kasi day after tomorrow na yun. And so yun, we invite everyone to volunteer, or if they can't volunteer, they can donate.
Yes.
They can drop off their donations at the shelter. We are in need of dog food, cat food, old towels, old carriers or kennel cabs, and old newspapers.
Ayun. Oh, old newspapers.
We Tribune, old newspapers.
So finally, what advice would you give to ordinary Filipinos who want to make a difference in the lives of animals in whatever way?
Okay, let us not forget the power of example. Because, you can talk to people about, oh, you do this, you do that. But if people see you like maltreating your pet, because I keep on seeing people, I am an animal lover, pero yung dog nila naka-cage na sa labas ng bahay. And we've always felt na aspens are unfairly treated. They're considered bantay ng bahay. And then they have, I'm an animal lover, pero yung Shih Tzus, they're on the bed. And so we need to show people that our love for animals is not just because for the purebred pets. It's not, let's not make our aspens second-class citizens in their very own country. We shouldn't allow them to be loitering the streets. Kaya nga we changed the term askal to aspen, because the aso should not be in the calle. So for all animal lovers, just be a good example, and then love your aspens, and then take care of them until the very old age. Because I keep seeing little dogs in strollers in the mall, but no old dogs.
Yeah.
But then they're always the nice fluffy ones. But to me, it's like, diba dogs grow
Old
until 10, 12?
Yeah.
I want to see more of the cataract-laden dogs with hair falling out and teeth falling out. Because I want to see also na these dogs are being cared for their lifetime, and which is what they deserve.
Yes. Iiyak na naman ako. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dina.
So much for all that good advice and a reminder to everyone. Kindness is a practice, not only to other humans, but to animals as well. So, thank you for this inspiring conversation.
Thank you.
Again, Attorney Anna Cabrera, for reminding us that every rescued animal, every advocacy campaign, and every community program is part of a bigger story of compassion, persistence, and belief in a humane Philippines. Thank you for joining us on Pairfect. Don't forget to follow Daily Tribune for more conversations with the people making a difference in our society and in the lives of those who cannot speak for themselves. Until next time, I'm Dinah Ventura, and this has been Pairfect, where every story connects perfectly.